So just a little bit about who we are as an academy. So SK Football Academy are based in Dubai, and we are the longest running academy for football in Dubai. We've been running since 2002. 37 teams, boys and girls. That ranges from under 6 to under 17, and they compete in the Youth Football League, which is a football league in Dubai across all age groups, like I say, both boys and girls. We also have a recreational program where we have at the moment around over 1,000 players, both boys and girls. I've coached in different places. I've coached in the USA with UK Elite and FC USA. I've been in Dubai with SK since September 2022. Currently position of the squads coordinator, so kind of just underneath the technical director, responsible for the organisation and admin side of a lot of our squads across SK, as well as leading my own teams. I'm leading 4 teams at the moment across a variety of age group, under 9s, 12s, 14s and our under 17s team. And this is my 4th visit to Malawi, so I keep coming back.
Hello, I'm David Ramji, originally from the UK. I started coaching in 2015 when I was playing at Cambridge United, youth team. I was an under 18 player, a scholar player. Unfortunately, didn't get a professional contract, but they were very good to me and offered me a job where I started coaching with the small children, completing my FA level 1 and level 2, which is now our UEFA C. I then went to America to play for a college team, again on a scholarship. So that was 4 years, and completed a sports management degree. I then returned back to England to play semi-professional football for a lot of clubs. Due to an injury, shoulder injury, I've stopped playing, but the coaching didn't stop. I continued my work with Cambridge United, working within their academy. So I'd work with the pre-academy, so 7 and 8 year olds. The year after that, I started working with under 9s and under 10s. And in my final year, I was working with the under 18s, which was absolutely fantastic. They compete in like FA Youth Cup and all of those professional type of games. And then I obviously was able to be in and around the training ground and see how the first team were coached as well. I work with 3 teams, a girls team under 11s, boys under 9s and under 13s. And I'm also the lead of one of our locations, which is called JVT Arcadia.
So obviously it compromises of the technical and tactical corner, the psychological corner, physical corner and the social corner. So all aspects that we need to consider about our players when we're working with them and when we are planning sessions. What do we need to consider? How does that model then help us plan specifically for those players?
Because they are 2 very different things. Although you can put them together in a 4-corner model, you're technical with the ball at your feet, but the tactical is your mind. So I also sometimes like to link the tactical with the psychological. If a player's not thinking right, if he's got cloudy vision in his brain, his tactical decisions are going to be wrong. Technique is without pressure, skill is with pressure. You have to start your players through a process of getting them back onto a ball, getting them comfortable. That would be an unopposed practice. We call it return to fitness. So your return to fitness stage is through getting them ready to play back into a match. Again, you've got video analysis, so maybe how you want to defend against a certain situation. So you may even have somebody coming in with the ball. Right, I now need 2 players to go over here. And it's just showing them before then you step it up.
Practice in the match practice at the end. The warm-up was a rondo. I'm just gonna go.
They move fast. Going outside. Moves again outside.
So what's going to assume, eh? Sibana mveke, stop. Coach, done. Muguri bwanji. Otonese ni demonstration, right? Kademo kajewa matanzira so kama zawada, I think it's important.
how you want to receive that ball, how you would want to receive that ball.
Hi, my name's David Ramji.
I'm a coach at SK Football Academy in Dubai, originally from England, but now living out in Dubai. So today we worked on a practical on the field as well as a classroom aspect. The classroom was going through the 4 corner models, going through our technical, tactical, social, psychological, and our physical aspects of the game, and how that relates to a training session. That was a morning, that was a 3-hour workshop, very intensive. I'm so thankful for the coaches for their hard work. They're listening and they're willing to learn. And then this afternoon, we've been out on this beautiful field in Malawi, Blantyre, going through our session. So starting with an unopposed practice, going into some more technical details, and then going into our opposed practices, and then a bigger slight game practice. Talking to the coaches about how we do certain things, like timing the sessions, what we want from the sessions, the principles that we're trying to apply. The sessions were very generic, so that they can be applied in multiple different ways. And again, the coaches here at Big Bullets were fantastic. They asked so many questions, they wanted to learn, and I was so keen to impart my knowledge onto them, help them understand the game and want to have the motivation to play. Then that will help their technical and tactical. These boys here are fantastic players already, so technically they are very, very good. We can then help them tactically understand the game more so that they can dominate their games and hopefully win the league. The knowledge that I have isn't any different from what I've seen in Africa. These coaches are well qualified and they know what they are talking about. It's how we then impart that knowledge onto our players. The tactics and the ideas that we use as coaches to send the message across to the players is really important. That's been part of my journey and part of the reason why I'm here, is to help the coaches deliver their message. It's really, well, we've got some fantastic players that have played and some that are now coaches, and it's helping them understand how they can impart their knowledge onto the players through the systems that we are fortunate enough to have in England.
It was a very important day for us as Bullets from all the age groups. You can see that there were a lot of coaches from women's under 20s, reserve, and the senior team. These guys, they came from Dubai to impact some knowledge to us. They were also refreshing what we have been doing. It was a very, very important day for this football club. We have touched everything, all the 4 cornerstones of football, psychologically, even in terms of fitness, technical and technical, which is very important because sometimes maybe we don't know what's the problem with the player. We need also to check, is he psychologically okay? In terms of fitness, is he physically okay? So like I said, that they came to remind us, to refresh us some of these things which are very, very important for football. And especially like us, the senior coaches, we have got 5 games to go. We have been under pressure. That's where we are saying that they have helped us in terms of like psychologically. We need also to play with the boys in terms of psychologically. We need to play with their heads. How are they reacting? How are they handling pressure? It will really help us these 5 games to wrap up the season. When we are doing our theory, the trainer asks, the under-20s are playing the same as the senior team? Are the women playing the same? Do we have same philosophy? It was a bit of a debate, but that's what we need. We need the under-20s to play the same way as the senior team is playing. We need the reserves to play the same way the senior teams are playing, so that when these players are coming to the senior team, they must not see anything like something which is new. They must be used to it. Then we should just improve it.
I think today is a very, very significant milestone, the start of a long-standing partnership between SK Football Academy and FCB Nyasa Big Bullets. It's our objective as a football club to ensure continuous development, sustainable development. Next year's 60th anniversary for FCB Nyasa Big Bullets. We want to be sitting here 60 years from now with the club still at the top level, competing for every single cup and every single trophy. What we see when we're at the stadium is just the first team, should I say. What we don't always see, or what we overlook sometimes, is what happens behind the scenes. Events like this, partnerships like this, where we create sustainable development at our reserve, at our youth, and at grassroots level. So I think it's hugely important today, the partnership that we have now created with SK Football Academy, whereby we can share ideas, share knowledge, work together. They also have other affiliations in the UK with the likes of Wolverhampton Wanderers. So we see a lot of opportunities and a lot of dynamics and a lot of ways that we can partner together. So I think this marks the first of a very, very important day, like I said. We hope to continue on this path to develop the partnership. We also intend to send some of our coaches out to some of their academies in Dubai and potentially in the UK. Like I said, it's about strategic partnerships, knowledge sharing, and building a lasting, sustainable future for the club and for football development as a whole within the country. First and foremost, I think if I look at what the SK Football Academy have seen, number one, they're very, very impressed with the level of coaching from our technical team, which is good. They're very impressed with the level of football, and obviously they can see that our players are well trained, well developed, well disciplined in the game of sport. So I think my biggest takeaway is that although we are looking at the principles of play that we want to pass on to our players, it's whilst we were doing that our coaches were also in the middle of it, forced to also adopt those particular principles of play. So as we are thinking how we're going to teach our youth, our reserves, at the same time we were forced to work on our social, our technical, tactical, physical. So I think one way or the other it was a great refresher. It's given people a renewed motivation in terms of their coaching, in terms of what they're going to do with their players. And all in all, I think it was a fantastic day. I think everybody is walking away from this very happy. And like I said, let me reiterate, it's the first of many, and it's the start of a very long, well-sustainable, good strategic partnership with SK Academy.